My husband mocked our union at a luxury company dinner, told his friends I wasn't on his level. So that night, I walked out and built an empire he'll forever envy. That night, the chandeliers dripped gold and the waiters glided like ghosts. We were at a luxury dinner, my husband, his friends and me. The decorative wife he paraded like a fine watch. They laughed about investments, yachts, and private jets. I sipped my champagne, smiled politely, until his voice cut through the laughter. I doubt our sham of a marriage will survive another year, he said, swirling his wine. She's not on my level. They roared with laughter. He didn't notice I'd gone silent. He didn't notice when I excused myself, gracefully, as always. He didn't notice the moment his empire started to crack. I walked out that night and never went back. No scene, no tears. Just a calm exit and a small, cold smile. Because what he never knew was that while he'd been busy collecting mistresses and mocking me, I'd been quietly collecting power. See, that company he bragged about. I helped build it. Wrote the proposals, designed the campaigns, drafted the contracts, all under his name. And because he never bothered to understand the boring legal stuff, he signed everything I handed him, including one tiny clause that gave me ownership of half the intellectual property. So when I left, I didn't leave empty-handed. I left with rights, access, and the one weapon no man like him expects: competence. Within a year, I launched my company. Same field, better ethics, sharper strategy. His clients noticed. One by one, they jumped ship. Investors followed. My brand was everywhere. The woman who rose from her husband's shadow to become the light. He tried to sue. The courts laughed. Turns out the documents he'd signed over dinner 3 years ago, the ones I'd drawn up for tax purposes, they made me a silent co-founder. He was fighting me with my own signature. But the real twist, when the press called him for a comment on my success, he tried to smear me. He said, "She only built that company because she married me." And that's when my final card dropped. I donated a portion of my profits to fund a women's entrepreneurship scholarship in his mother's name. Every headline the next morning read, "Wife he called below his level, funds hundreds of women to rise above theirs." His empire crumbled beneath the weight of his own arrogance. Mine soared, built on the foundation he never realized I was laying while he laughed. Now when people ask about him, I just smile and say, he was right. Our marriage didn't survive another year. But my empire did. If you loved that twist, the silent revenge that burns brighter than rage, hit subscribe. Because on this channel, we don't cry over betrayal. We turn it into power. Stay tuned for more stories where the underestimated rise and the arrogant fall.